Is Georgia's offense starting to look better than Georgia's defense? Last year, we saw that the Georgia defense was not only better than the Georgia offense, but the Georgia defense was the best defense in college football. This year, it seems to be flipped around. Now, I don't know that Georgia's offense will be the best in college football, but I think it's going to be one of the best. And the defense, look, it became an overstated thing in this offseason. This became just totally drawn out. But it's true. The defense will take a step back in 2022. I don't know how you put together a generational defense 2 years in a row. And that's fine. That's not something to freak out about. But based off what we heard about the scrimmage last week, based off all the hype around the offseason, it seems like this Georgia offensive unit is going to be the better of the two heading into the 2022 season. We're less than 3 weeks away. We're almost 2 weeks away. I think we're in the teens now for how many days away Georgia plays Oregon. We're going to learn a lot. Oregon's got some freaks on their defense, but Georgia's got a lot of freaks on both sides of the ball. Ryan Curley from DAWGSTRUCTION here talking about Georgia's 2022 offense, and is it better than their 2022 defense? I think the short answer is yes. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION, our insider book of the 2021 National Championship season. You get our preview magazine for free if you get that. Links down below, guys. Some of the notes from the scrimmage the other day, most of them were positive in the offensive sense. Positive things being said about the freshman running backs, Andrew Paul and Branson Robinson. Daniel Jackson being drugged 40 yards downfield by Darnell Washington. Carson Beck having a good 2-minute drill. Gunnar Stockton throwing touchdowns. So we're getting into the depths of the offense. The offensive line is better than the defensive line is something that is being thrown out there. Yeah, the offense is better than the defense, at least on paper and at least from what we've seen. Now, we've yet to see this exact Georgia team play on the field against another opponent, but I think that's what you're going to see is what you get. I think that this is an offensive line that's really good. They have some stuff to figure out at guard, and they're running out of time to figure it out. But they showed that they could sub last year when needed, so maybe that's the case again. At running back, you have veteran leadership and versatility. At the receiver position, very deep, minus some injuries. Aaron Smith is the notable one. And the tight end is the best in college football. And you return a quarterback that helped lead you to a national championship. And so on defense, you don't have as much returning. But there is a few returners. What they have on defense is a lot of talent and not a lot of meaningful snaps compared to last year. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo, Christopher Smith, Robert Beal, minus those kind of guys, minus the William Pools of the world. But when you're getting into the nitty-gritty, Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, Zion Logue, Jamon Dumas-Johnson, Tresman Marshall, Smile Mondin, Kamari Lassiter, these guys played, right? But they didn't play in at least a lot of meaningful snaps compared to the starters. So on defense, they're just a lot more raw but talented. On offense, it seems to be more of a sure thing. And we know that because of how talented they are. All right, they're going to shell Brock Bowers and Eric Gilbert and A.D. Mitchell and Kenny McIntosh out there at the same time. I don't have my doubts about that. A lot of the playmakers from last year were freshmen. A.D. Mitchell, Brock Bowers. Lab McConkey was a younger guy. The older guys now are Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint, Dominic Blaylock. On the offensive line, Warren McClendon and Cedric Van Pran, veteran leadership. Broderick Jones, someone that played important minutes in the national championship game. He's back on the offensive line. So on offense, that doesn't seem to be a concern. They want to be explosive again. They want to be better than they were last year, which was top 10. But on defense, question mark, right? And I honestly tried to veer away from that this whole summer and off season because of how many other people were beating the drum on this defense is going to take a step back. It is, but how far of a step back is yet to be seen. However, I do think Georgia's offense is better. I think if they lined up against each other, Georgia's offense wouldn't, would be able to score is essentially what I'm saying, because I do think they're that good. I do think this is an offense that's going to score 50 points more than once or twice this year. They did it a couple times last year. I think they're going to do that again. I think they're going to hover around that 40 to 45 mark as far as points per game. And part of it will be because they have to, because the defense is not as good. Kirby Smart, Dean and I talked about this the other day. Kirby, and this is what we think about Kirby Smart and this Georgia program. They don't care how they win; they just want to win. If that means they're going to demolish people on the defensive side, then they're gonna swallow them up. But if that means they're going to put up 50, 60, 70 points, they'll do that too. Now, I think they're probably going to win more games this year by scoring a lot of points as compared to last year by shutting down their opponent. Is that a problem? Does it matter how you win? For me, no. I think you get the W, you get the W. It's a different Georgia team in 2022. This offensive unit is going to be the one that turns heads. We'll see you at the site dawgpost.com. Make sure you're checking out those books. Links down below.